Assalamu alaikum, uncle. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam warahmatullahi Shihara. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. My name, you know my name already, but I'm going to introduce myself to the rest of the community. So my name is Shahara Yusuf, and I'm a fourth year doctoral student in clinical psychology at Immaculata University. Um, and I just want to take this time to thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to interview you today. So the purpose of this interview is for TASMiNA to interview and release videos of very qualified members of our community in order to enlighten the junior members of the community who are looking for guidance and or a mentor to help them find better opportunities for the future in North America. So I thought it was a great idea of TASMiNA, and I'm fully willing to help and interview today. So I would just be asking you some questions to help us learn more about you and your professional background, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine.
okay, so to start off, do you mind giving us a small introduction, including your name, where are you from, family background, and schools you attended during your early years up to university?
Okay, I had to remember correctly because it will be a long time.
Sure.
Yeah, I am from, my name is Iffaaz Salahudeen. I'm from a small village in Sri Lanka, which is called Kapuwatta, and it is in the Veligama, which is in southern part of Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And my father was a principal and mother was a homemaker.
Mhm.
And I have two brothers and two sisters. They live in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And I had my primary education in the village school, which is just walking distance from my home.
Hmm.
And I can just show you a slide of just background of where I come from. Let me show you
Yeah, that looks good.
the point option. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, you can see Sri Lanka,
Hmm.
the southern tip of Sri Lanka is Veligama. And
Okay.
within Veligama, my hometown is Kapuwatta, a small village. The school was looked like this.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
uh, uh, a long hall with all the classes in one building,
Okay.
and that's why we didn't have electricity, we didn't have water, the tap water, and
Oh,
at that time when I was many years back, and and we didn't have enough good teachers or the facilities for science studies.
okay.
So my parents sent me to, after grade 6 they sent me to the city school, which is Arafat Central College,
Okay.
and I studied 2 years there. And in grade 7, we had a scholarship exam. So after I passed the exam, I was sent to Colombo for higher studies
Okay.
for grade 9, 10, 11, 12.
Hmm.
And so I went to Colombo Hindu College. We didn't have any other good schools in our area.
Hmm.
So it's about 90 miles from my home. And you can see this is Veligama town, the beach area, very nice beaches there. And then
Beautiful.
this is Colombo Golf Face Green beach area. So
Okay.
I moved from Veligama to all the way to Colombo for my higher studies.
Hmm.
And I have two brothers and two sisters, and they all went to different schools
Hmm.
because we didn't have good teachers, like I said. Even for girls, they all went to Muslim Ladies College or Aludgama Ladies College for higher studies. So
Okay.
all were well educated, and at least they went up to the advanced level exams.
Mm. Okay.
Anything?
So yeah, so the others were the schools you attended from your early years up to university. So I don't know if you have more to share about that.
Yeah.
Your university.
University, yeah, I'll come to university, and yes, I can. Okay. So after advanced level examination, so I got selected to University of Peradeniya to do
Hmm.
a science degree, and I did chemistry special degree in University of Peradeniya with this 4-year course,
Okay.
and then I worked for many years, and then I had, applied for higher studies in the US.
Oh, okay.
And so that's where I came to University of Kansas
Hmm.
to perform my higher studies in chemistry, bioanalytical chemistry.
Okay.
And so you can see the some nice views of the
Yeah, it's
University of
beautiful.
Peradeniya. This is the Kandy area,
Yeah.
middle of Sri Lanka, and this is the chemistry department building here.
Okay.
And then this is University of Kansas
Hmm.
in the middle of US.
Yeah.
And these are my professors. I will talk about them a little bit
Okay.
because the issues, I mean, I started working with Professor Wilson at the beginning, and then I had some issues, challenges. I will talk about it.
Okay.
And then I found a different professor to work with, and
Okay.
Sulanti, and then I did my postdoc with George Stoba.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I just wanted to
Mhm.
mention these three professors. They were helping me in where I'm now. I mean, they really helped me.
Okay. That's great. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that
Welcome.
information. And both your campuses look so beautiful here.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one. So this is kind of a fun question, but what are some hobbies, social activities, or sports that you participated in during the time that you attended school?
Uh, I was not a very good sports person, but I played volleyball and badminton.
Okay.
And but I participated in school extracurricular activities like quizzes and essay competitions
Mm-hmm.
and even dramas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to different levels to we got some prizes also. And other than that, I also worked with different societies and also like in the masjid. The I was sort of uh, working as a secretary for masjid organizations,
Mm-hmm.
and so I volunteer in masjid activities as well. Even
Okay.
still, I'm working with different masajids, and also I send out emails or even newsletters on a weekly basis
Mm-hmm.
regarding different activities in the area.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Um, okay. So my next question is, I think you said you were going to talk about this, but what drove you to study hard to get to where you are today, and what motivated you to leave Sri Lanka and come so far to the US to further your education?
Yeah, this I had to really thank a lot of people for that. I start with Allah Subhanahu wa Taala giving me, I mean, all the blessings and knowledge I gained because of Allah's blessings,
Mm-hmm.
and also I had to thank my family. My father was a teacher, and my mother was also behind me, pushing us to do homework and everything from the childhood. And after that, my relatives, there were some doctors and lecturers in my family,
Mm-hmm.
extended families, and they were behind me and motivating me to work hard and do my best in the schools. And also I had to thank my teachers and all the teachers they did, because those days when we were students in primary and secondary schools, we didn't have tuition classes at that time. So the teachers really took extra time after school
Mm-hmm.
to ask the students to come to school again after
Mm-hmm.
lunch and taught us extra classes, extra lessons, so that we could do well. And so I really appreciate all the teachers from primary to all the way to high school.
Yeah.
Also, my wife, also in graduate school, she helped me, push me to complete my degree in the especially in Kansas.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it's not easy to leave your family and come all the way, but alhamdulillah, I'm glad.
Yes.
Okay, so the next question, so what difficulties or challenges did you face in Sri Lanka in order to complete your education and
Okay.
here too?
Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of challenges from beginning. Uh, like I said before, we didn't have good schools with for science, so I had to go to the town school, which is about 2 miles away. So we had
Mhm.
to either walk, take a bus, or use a bicycle to go to school every day.
Yeah.
And also, we had, like I said, the teachers took care of us, like having extra classes in the
Hmm.
evenings and weekends. Also, I was weak in English because English was not my first subject or first language. It was my third language,
Oh.
and Sinhala was a second language.
Hmm.
So I had to go for some tuition classes for English.
Okay.
And in the A-level classes, even in the university, we had group studies. So we helped each other when we have assignments or any homework. We
Mm-hmm.
were working together. Also, we had practice exams. So we worked together as groups. So that also helped me in learning and also teaching others what I know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Also, in the we use libraries, British councils, American centers,
Mm-hmm.
where we can gain some knowledge as well as get some books we needed for the studies.
Mm-hmm.
So we use whatever is available at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also say in graduate school, I had my other graduate students. They helped me also because I had some challenges in my research. I was assigned to do some work on animals, and I thought I could overcome. I had a sort of a I was scared to touch or hold any live animal,
Oh,
and
okay.
so I thought I could overcome that, but somehow I did not. So that's why after some time, after about 1.5 years, I had to change my research area
Oh, I see.
to go away from lives biological science to pure chemistry related research.
Right.
So that's why I had to select the second professor to do my PhD in halfway through the graduate program.
I see. Okay.
Um, yeah, basically, I would say, like I said here, if a village boy coming from a small village without any facilities came to US to do PhD and now doing well in working in a pharmaceutical industry, I think anybody who were brought up here and went to good schools and with high technologies, you can achieve much more than what we had done. So I think there's no limit for anybody who think they can do something. If they plan it, they can achieve what they want.
Mashallah. Yeah, I think that is a very inspirational story that you told us, and I think a lot of our community members will appreciate that, when they're feeling a little bit let down or not very positive about the future. I think so. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Um, so could you please share your current job title and describe to us the kind of work that you currently do?
Okay, I will combine my two recent jobs
Okay,
together because let me show you
sure.
because I worked for about 22 years in one industry in pharmaceutical industry in New Jersey, and
Mm-hmm.
I just moved to a new job here. So I don't want to give too many details about the new job because it's
Okay.
only very new,
Yeah.
and so I can combine them together to show that after my high school, sorry, graduate school, I joined Bristol Myers Squibb in New
Mm-hmm.
Jersey. I worked as a scientist there and about 22 years. And meantime, I also did sort of a voluntary work under with USP, US Pharmacopeia, which
Mm-hmm.
is a non-profit organization. And so they needed people from industry to help them to establish standards for testing the pharmaceutical products,
Mm-hmm.
drugs, foods, and medicines. So what we did was had we had volunteer part of your time working with USP. So I worked there for about, they call it one cycle is 5 years, so two cycles of 10 years. I worked with them in establishing some the testing methods as well as standards for the testing of the medicines.
Mm-hmm.
And while working with them, I got to know about USP and also I got to know the people working there.
Mm-hmm.
Then it helped me to get to the current job at USP.
Okay.
So after working about 22 years, I thought it's good time for me to look for a different job.
Mm-hmm.
And this came up, an opening came up in USP. So I thought I'll take this opportunity to work for USP, which is a non-profit organization, and
Mm-hmm.
it works with FDA, and they have very close collaboration with FDA, and they establish the quality of medicine all over the USA as well as in the globe.
Right. That's really cool. Isn't as I don't know if this is correct, but USP also they regulate some vitamins, right? I know some
Yes,
vitamins have USP written on
yes,
them.
exactly. Like supplements,
Yes,
medicine,
absolutely.
supplements, food. We work with all those medicine supplements and food to make sure that they are high quality and
Hmm.
products.
Awesome. That's very cool. Um, so actually, this brings me to ask you, what work experience have you had in the past that helped shape your career up to what it is now?
Yeah, I have a basically, I started after my undergraduate studies in Peradeniya. I worked for a few industries in Sri Lanka, mainly in Sri Lanka and also in Saudi Arabia. Let me show you some of the pictures here. You can see I started as a assistant professor in University of Peradeniya for
Mm-hmm.
1 year. That's a temporary job until I found a permanent position. So, and then I worked as a government analyst chemist in testing any crime scenes,
Mm-hmm.
any accidents or rape cases and murder cases. We had to test and prove the person's innocent or guilty. And
Wow.
so we had to do the testing of the crime scene in the incidents.
Okay.
And then I worked in Milk Board, at that time it was called Milk Board. They
Mm-hmm.
make milk products, milk, yogurt, butter, and ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
etc. So I was in the lab testing these materials for their quality.
Okay.
And then I work in a carbon company, Haley's,
Mm-hmm.
and where they make activated carbon. And activated carbon is used to purify water and gas mask, and also to purify the gold and silver in
Mm-hmm.
gold mines. And so we produce activated carbon from coconut shells.
Oh, wow.
And that's a top the figure. This is a factory in Madampe in
Yeah.
Sri Lanka, and these are the carbon pellets they make, and so these are exported for gold or other the water purifications and those sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I also worked in Prima Flour Mills, which is in
Mm-hmm.
Trinco, the west coast, and this is a Singapore company, and where they made wheat flour, and they grind the flour, and they also make sure that the flour used can be high quality. You can make high quality bread from that.
Mm-hmm.
So we had make some bread and test it, bread and cake, and test it for quality. And then I went to Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in a desalination plant testing the water uh, in Jammu, Saudi Arabia. So water is produced from the seawater,
Mm-hmm.
and they purify the seawater to get drinkable water.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to test the water to make sure that it is drinkable. And so I have about 7 years experience working in different chemical industry, chemical and food industries. That helped me to apply for graduate school, because at that
Yeah.
time I had a friend who was my roommate in Saudi Arabia. He came and we were roommate. He was from US. So he motivated me to apply for graduate school at that time.
Okay.
So then I took the exams, the GRE, TOEFL exams, to
Yeah.
make sure that I get the required the test scores, and then I applied for some universities,
Mm-hmm.
and I got admitted to University of Kansas to do a PhD program.
Wow. They're so interesting, all of your experience, and they're all so different. It's very
Yes.
cool to look. Great. Thank you so much for sharing. That's
Okay.
very, very cool. Okay, so now that you've, talked about so many different things, I wanted to ask, how do you think your education and your experiences can help members of the community who are in need of guidance or, kind of need some mentors to help them seek opportunities for future education and or jobs? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think I would say there's no, like I said before, there's no limit. You can do if you think you are capable of doing it. You have to reach out to people.
Mm-hmm.
You think if you need some help, you have to go and check with them and find out whether you can get some help,
Yeah.
and also find out what is your strengths and weaknesses, and see how you can improve yourself if there's any issues where you had to overcome,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. It's a Education is an obligation for both men and women, so it is immaterial whether you are a man or woman, and you have to have knowledge both religious knowledge as well as worldly knowledge, so that you can be successful in both worlds.
Yeah.
So you have to believe in yourself and also trust your family and friends, and make sure that you, whenever you need some support or help or guidance, reach out to them, your teachers, your mentors,
Yeah.
and also find out what are the resources available, like libraries or any friends, colleagues,
Mhm.
managers. If you have any contact, make sure that you seek out and you ask help whenever you need to help. You need help.
Yeah.
Basically, like I said here in the bottom, there's a uh, summary.
Mhm.
While doing your best, don't neglect your duties towards Allah. That is, don't forget praying and your religious duties. Also, duties towards your parents and family, and your community, your country, and all other human beings and all creatures. And
Mhm.
so, make sure that you don't neglect any of your duties. These are all part of your responsibilities.
Yeah. Thank you. I think that was great advice for all of us, even myself as a student. I think it's very, very important and valuable information. So thank you so much for sharing
Welcome.
that with us. So I think, do you have, I'm not sure if you have anything you want to add or wrap up?
Okay, I just have a summary. I just thought I will just cover it with a advice, sort of just a personal advice to anybody who needs some help. And
Okay.
I'll say, before starting anything new, make sure you pray and seek Allah's help. And we need both Deen and Dunya. So we need to make sure that we do both together. And if you are not married, then find out, seek a partner who support you to achieve both worldly life as well as the hereafter, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And also establish short-term and long-term goals. And it's important to plan ahead of time
Hmm.
what you want to do and how you want to do it, and see whether you have the know-how and knowledge and experience you have, if whatever you need to do, and and also keep friendship with genuine, sincere people. There are people, some are trying to sabotage your ambitions and goals. So make sure that you have good friends and good neighbors, good relatives who can advise you,
Hmm.
and you can trust them. Uh, Also, I would advise that you need to have a mentor. It's very important to get some mentor, so that you can constantly go back and check with them. They know about you, and and you know about them, and then you can always go back and ask them. For instance, for even to apply for college, you need to know how much, whether parents can afford to send you to a college you like to go to, and whether there's any scholarship available,
Right.
and what are the test scores need, a GPA, an SAT or TOEFL or GRE, whatever you need, whether you have to prepare for that.
Right.
And also find out any university. You don't have to restrict yourself to within your own area. You can go to different states or different countries, because sometimes you get very good scholarships and board and lodging all paid off for high studies sometimes.
Hmm.
So depending on your area of studies, you can sometimes get very good scholarship in different countries also.
Right.
So take advantage of those. So you have to do some of your background research, find out about universities and your area of interest, and then seek help from others and your mentors.
Okay.
Also get involved in community services, and it's very important. You have to give back to whatever you learn and whatever you have, the experience you have to share with others. So do whatever you can with community activities and organizations, professional organizations, where you can work with others and get to know about different activities, and also it will be good for you to get referrals after that.
Hmm.
And also the age is not a limitation. Whatever the age you are, you can still do higher studies. You can do certification courses, and you can improve your capabilities, and you can do more. You can diverse your uh, abilities to do whatever you want to do, because sometimes you need to switch jobs, and so you need to have a vast knowledge on different subjects, different activities, so that
Right.
you don't want to lose anything. So the final thing is, I would say, TASMiNA is there for you. Yeah, there are so many members in TASMiNA who are doctors or engineers or scientists or accountants and business people. So they can help you, whatever the area you are interested in, you can reach out to the elders in science in TASMiNA, and then they will be able to guide you, or they can direct you to where to find job or help.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was very thorough advice. I think it covered every area. So Jazakallah khair again for sharing
Thank,
your story with us and your professional experiences. I really enjoyed speaking with you today. It was very interesting, all your work experiences and how, you came from a certain background in Sri Lanka and you had to overcome so many challenges. So I'm inspired myself hearing this. So Jazakallah. And I think a lot of people in our community will benefit, not just the junior members, from hearing your interview. So thanks again.
thank you, Chihara. It was my pleasure, and I hope TASMiNA will continue to provide leadership and guidance for uh, mentorship for program using like talents people have in the community. And also, thank you, Sarah, for interviewing me. And it was nice to know you. And I'm happy young adults like you are actively involved with TASMiNA and other activities in the community. And I'm sure you found role models within our community when you were trying to find what you want to know about your future, and you got advice from different people.
Yes.
And I'm happy to say that you are pursuing a PhD program in clinical psychology, right?
Yeah.
Clinical psychology, and so that is really motivation for other youth and those who are thinking about their future. It'd be good, like instead of even interviewing us, it's be good for the hospital to have some program for interviewing you guys, young adults, and who are already in the doing PhD programs or medical degrees. So they should also be uh, interviewed, and they should be able to guide the youth of the future. So
And
that will be, and thank you for interviewing me. Thank you.
no problem, Uncle. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thanks, Yara.